Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists that it is completely possible to have a great career in the arts. And if you ever want to tune in and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just check out the schedule over at facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time six-figure art business. With weekly trainings that include step-by-step proven art business techniques, plus painting tutorials from yours truly and other guest artists who are masters in their field, you will be well equipped to learn and grow into the highly skilled and highly profitable artist you know you're meant to be. I've figured out what it takes to build my own six-figure art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. It's not hard, but it does require your time and dedication. So, if you're up for the challenge, go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com to learn more. We are starting a student spotlight series where every Monday I interview a couple of my amazing Artist Academy Advanced students, for one, to get to know them better, and to give them direct advice on their art business, and also so I can get feedback from them on how to be a better teacher and what they want to see more of in the group and just how life is. Life is all about communication. And this week I invited Jodi to go live with me, and it was so fun getting to know her because she's done so much in her art career already and now lives in Hawaii where she is having to essentially start over from the move and make new connections and reinvent her artistic business approach. And I'm all for it. She's seeing this in such a positive light to do something new and just take a different path, and it's going to be so fun. So let me know what you think about this new student spotlight series with Jodi Trujillo. You just want to start with just telling them a little bit about how you got into art maybe and where you're at right now?
I've been drawing since I was like 8. I have a family of artists that I grew up watching. I guess you could say we're all in realist art. So we like to draw what we see. And my uncles are amazing artists, and they would just with a pencil draw, amazing portraits. They look like photographs. It was just, and that just really intrigued me. I was a shy kid, so this was something that helped me open the door to talk to other people.
Yeah.
And so I'd when I go visit my uncles at my grandma's house, I'd have this little book and a pencil, and I would just like sit in the corner and just watch them and just kind of mimic whatever they're doing. And they saw me, and then they just kind of took me under their wing and just started showing me, some techniques. And then any opportunity in school that I had to take art lessons and stuff, that's what I did.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah. And then I did take a little bit of art in college. I don't like to tell people how to do art. I like to guide them, but I don't like to tell them, no, that's wrong. Unless they say, there's something wrong. Can you help me do this? But I want them to figure that on themselves. Yeah. Because everybody's art is different and their techniques are different. And so I didn't finish college with that. And then I got married and have kids. And in 2000, I started painting murals. I was addicted. I love murals. And I had a really good gig with the LA County Fair for a couple years because every year they would have a different theme. And I would come in that summer before the fair started and would paint murals for their themes. So yeah, and that's how I got started. And then 2008, I was watching Drew talking about like, you know, how you surviving. And so 2008, when the whole economy dipped, everything dipped for me as far as your murals and stuff. And I had to kind of like restart all over again. And I started slowly again. I didn't get to go back into the murals business, but I did start to teach art in my garage.
Oh, wow.
Weekly packages. And it was funny because I told my husband that was like the start of the paint party thing, because friends would buy this package and come on the same day. And so I would have like 10 friends coming for an art lesson. And so that was like, before the whole paint party biz started booming, that was like the start of it for me. And then I went into the paint party business in California.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was extremely busy. I have a 30-year-old daughter, and she was my assistant. So, and so she now takes over the California site. So
yeah.
now I'm kind of reinventing what I'm doing out here as far as art. So I just feel like I'm starting all over again.
Yeah. Where do you want to go with it? Like, where's your direction that you're wanting to go?
I really would like to do more commissions. I would like to go back into murals. I'm not like looking into getting galleries, but I would like to get into the small like surfer boutiques out there on the North Shore. I love the North Shore. And just have my art, like, that's why I've been like trying to research where to get good prints at, because I've had a couple made and they look really horrible. I'm like, I wouldn't even send them to my family. So that's just been hard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine just like going somewhere new and starting over. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so much. But at least you're in an amazing place.
Yes, it's full of inspiration. I love the ocean. I love the ocean. I love being up in the mountains. So I kind of have the best of both worlds, because the neighborhood I live is up in the mountain. So I get to walk to the park across the street, stand up on a little hill, and then see all of Honolulu, Waikiki. You see the ocean, and it's just gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
The weather is gorgeous right now. It's starting to get a little warm, but it's been really nice and breezy and cool. So I just been like totally soaking it in. You know, being a California girl, I could never, ever get this. And for me to even saying that I'm over here in Hawaii and having this kind of view, and I'm not making $1 kajillion, is just a total blessing. So it's totally a place that's filled with color. You walk up the street, you see all kinds of like 5 different colors of plumerias and hibiscus, and it's just gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, I bet. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So full of inspiration. So are you wanting your niche to be like Hawaiian themed or nautical themed in any way, or what?
It seems like I'm always painting like something that has to do with the ocean and nature, and yeah. So it seems like that's my niche, and I'm, like I said, I love to draw exactly or paint exactly what I see, but I'm really trying to push that to not have to be that. Like I'm trying to like whatever colors that are speaking to me that day, I would like to paint that painting in those colors. So that's what I'm trying to just really just build that whole skill set.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, just give me that picture and I'll make it exactly the way I see it. But now I'm just trying to like, I really love just being more expressive with the color.
Yeah, for sure. So what's your next step? What are you working on right now in order to like get more business? Why did you join the Artists Academy? What do you want out of it? What can I do for you, basically?
Well, okay, so it was really hard to find an artist mentor, you know, especially even in the 2000s, like before like the internet became like your source of building your business. It was really like word of mouth and who you know. Yeah. And that's pretty much how I got mine. But I was on it all by myself. And then, thank God I had connections with schools and friends that worked for cities that they would say, hey, we put your name in, as reference to paint some artwork for us. And that's how I would get business. I would meet other artists at, working, doing murals for the LA County Fair and trying to like build relations with them. And they're just, I might ask them, oh, how did you get in? And, and like, oh, well, it's just knowing the right people. And then they walk away. And you're just like, okay, thanks a lot, And so it was really, really like, even in the paint party business, it is awful. Nobody wants to promote each other. Everybody wants to be the one that only provides this. I had this young kid. He worked for a really well-known art studio that was doing the paint parties. I was a travel paint party business. So
oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think I was kind of like the first that was in Southern California doing that. His mom reached out to me and said, hey, my son's a great artist. He feels like really trapped what he's doing. Can you interview him? Do you need any help? I'm like, yeah. So I took him under my wing. I even like told him like some of the things I've learned starting that business to help him. And he worked with me for a couple months and then went on his own, and he's doing great. And I'm like, this is what it should be like. This is like, this is what we should be doing. We should be like sharing like, oh, this is what you would need. This is like a good price to start at. Nobody wants to share that information because everybody's fighting. Like, California is huge. Like, there's no way that I can like serve all of California people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you got to like share the information, get people into working in their dream, That's the thing was I joined the Art Academy because you were just sharing so much good information and you had so many good ideas, and I just love like all your paintings. I was just like, oh my gosh, that was like me when I was like, in my early 20s. That was a long time ago. I just like, I wish we had this, whole, internet and web and Instagram kind of set up, to create communities like this for artists that don't know where to start, how to start, what to do, because, a lot of people are out there that will take advantage of your gift, and I've had that happen.
That's crazy. Yeah. And I know that like, it's very stereotypical for like people in the Midwest, like here, to be like very happy and just share everything. And like, but even here there's a lot of people that are still like, I don't know about that. But I imagine it's so even more just like times 100 in like places like LA and California. Okay. So you're wanting to get out of the paint party business now, really?
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, I started the free lives on Facebook for, the people that are stuck at home.
Yeah.
And also to keep the face up of my business is called Paint Escape with me. To keep up the face of Paint Escape with me, so when things get back to some kind of normal, my daughter can continue on. And she works for the city, so she wasn't able to do it, so she's still working. I started doing the lives. Well, then I started getting private messages. Will you do a private virtual party for us? So now I'm doing private virtual parties here and there. I just started like, just like this past weekend, I started getting messages. Do you do private virtual parties? I'm like, okay. So it's like, they're going to be like 1 hour. I'm only charging $50 for an hour. So, but it's just like, okay.
You're like, I was gonna get out of this, but since you guys are asking for it, like.
Yeah, so I would like to keep because I'm a natural introvert, so I could stay in the house and paint all day and not have any contact. Yeah. And and my older kids can attest to this, is that when they're little and I would be drawing while they're playing, and then they'd come to want me for something, I couldn't hear them because I was just in the zone. And then they'd come and shake me, Mom, we've been calling you. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So that's how bad I get. So doing something, I would like to keep my foot just a little bit in the paint parties, just to keep my face out there and stay connected to people so that I don't get lost.
What do you mean by that?
Because it would be easy for me to just promote my art and not like be out there like face-wise.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think the paint parties for me would be good for me to be personally with everybody that I might be in contact with. Okay. Even if they're not here in Hawaii, it could be like if people wanted me to do a commission in the mainland, at least they know my face, they know who I am.
Yeah. The mainland. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm calling, my family's like, oh, now we're the mainland.
That's funny. It's a different world. It's a different culture out there.
Right? It is. It's a complete different culture.
Yeah. So you wanted to get back into murals. Have you ever tried window painting?
Yes, I used to do window painting too.
Okay, yeah. You've done it all.
Yeah. That kept me, that was good Christmas money.
Yeah, it is. It just, everybody wants it around Christmas time especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest advice for anybody when they're trying to get started in murals. Like, go knock on businesses and be like, and there's a couple around here too. They wanted to do like a tribute to the seniors, like a graduation thing, like to do on their windows, and that led to other things. And like, people are wanting window painting way more than I realized, because I started doing it just around Christmas time, and then it's like, oh, people want it for 4th of July, people want it for this, people want that. And then, like, I was just noticing the more I did window painting, the more I got referred to other businesses, and the more murals came from that. So that's, like, my biggest thing of, like, if you want to focus on one thing, like, in a new area especially, just take your paints, start knocking on windows, be like, hey, I mean, not a lot of businesses are open right now, but you never, I mean, a lot of people, even if they have closed down their business, if they still want something on the business windows, to be like, hey, we'll be back, like, looking forward to seeing you, like, really anything.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I just, being in Hawaii, I'm trying to think of what's good paint to use, because before I used to just use craft paint because it's easy to wash off with hot water and soap, and so I don't know if that would still be okay out here with just like the kind of weather we have out here.
Oh yeah, because it rains every day.
Yeah,
right?
It rains, and then sometimes it's humid. So
maybe just test it out on your windows or something.
Yeah,
yeah. Your kids are coming home and you're like painting on the windows.
And if you have any suggestions on a good brand, then you just shoot me a message. I'll check them out.
Really, any kind of, the brand that I use is like just the cheapest stuff that I can find, like Apple Barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just because like the water in it makes it so fluid to just like runs, you know, and also it's kind of hard to get off. Like you have to kind of like scrape at it. Every year when we do them for Christmas, I'm like, they're like, are you gonna remove it? I'm like, no, that's you. Sorry, thank you though.
I always tell them, warm soapy water with a scrub brush will take it off. I mean, you just can't expect to put on, Windex and a paper towel and then it's done. You got to put some elbow grease to take it off.
That's what I tell them too. I'm like, water and elbow grease.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're wanting to do the, like, more ocean scenes and stuff, which is actually perfect for around there. Maybe thought about right now it's just such a difficult time, because I was like, what about going to approach the zoo or like an aquarium or something? But like,
right before all this happened, people were telling me to go to the zoo because on Saturdays and Sundays they have something where the artists can hang their artwork on the fence, fence art or something like that, for free. And so, and people would sell their pieces. Oh. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I was getting ready to do that, and now we can't. So I'm just trying to get enough, like, my husband's like, I didn't agree for you to put all your artwork all over the place. Cause I mean, we moved from like a 1,800 square foot house. It's barely 1,000 square feet. Okay. So yeah. So right here where I'm at is the kitchen. This is where I work out of. I rearranged my whole little art wall right here.
Oh, cute.
That's my dog.
Oh, pet portraits are, as you know, I'm sure, huge.
Very,
Do you want to do pet portraits? Are you thought about
yeah, I'm getting ready to do some a serious pet portrait of Bob, our boxer, and because I've been doing all kinds of things like comics of dogs and stuff.
Ooh,
And
oh, that's an idea.
yeah,
Oh.
I did a really cute comic of my dog his favorite stuffed animal and how he met him, and so his stuffed animal is his protagonist, and so it's a pig, and we named him Crispy Bacon. So Crispy Bacon has gotten into a lot of trouble. So I created their first meeting was on Christmas Day. So and so with that, people just loved that, and so
Yeah.
so I will create pet comics for a funny story or something for somebody. But I've been working on a pet portrait of Bob, like a serious one. This is just a goofy one.
For fun.
Yeah, for fun. All his favorite things. See bacon, hot dogs, and stuff there. And,
Ooh, I'm stuck on this pet comic idea.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Like, have you heard of it like before? Where did you get the idea? Oh, this is just gold.
So so I'm a behavior interventionist or analyst for right now for Easter seals, but where I come from in California, I worked for a school district. So that's where a lot of my business would come from. Mm. And so schools would ask me, because I used art for my behavior therapy, schools would ask me if I would create an after-school program. So I did. And so I did a how to make your own comic after-school program lesson. It was like 6 weeks long. And I didn't want to focus on doing like superheroes. I wanted them to create their own idea. And so creating something that was like your inspiration. So Bob, we had just got Bob, and he's just this goofy boxer dog. Before, as I was creating the lessons, started to create his comic.
Okay. Do you have any kind of like strategy for like would you want to be booked out with dog comics?
Oh yeah, I would love to be. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
so
do that. Okay.
Yeah, and I was even thinking of like really pushing like this kind of art for your dog. Like, I have like this is like his aura and all the things that he loves, and just like capture your dog's like personality, but it's just not like so serious, And so so I'm working on a couple of things in the pet area.
The pet area, yeah. I always, if anybody ever mentions, like, yeah, I did a dog portrait, I'm like, do you like doing dog portraits? Because you should definitely do them, because they're so
Because people are, like, especially for dogs, they, like, I did a paint party one time, and I walked into a house, and literally, like, I wish I would have known them before I did a paint party, because I would have been like, I could do pet portraits, Yeah. Their wall was plastered with different portraits of their dog. It was like if there was their kid. And I was just like,
so funny.
And they had one bigger than I have of Bob. It was like huge. And it was almost like, like when you take a family portrait, that kind of, just like, whoa, you love your pet.
Yeah. That's so funny. Okay, yeah, I kind of laugh when people want portraits of their dogs, but it's so many people. I'd say 30% of the things that I get asked for are dog portraits. I'm like, no. But if you want to do it, then go for it. I wish I loved it.
One of our niche for our paint party things in California for kids' parties was that we painted a personalized painting for that child. So we would ask them, what do they like? Would they rather have their name or something that they like? And I would probably say like 50% would be like, oh, their dog.
Yeah.
And so you do like, I would do a cute little caricature of their dog, and on a little tiny 8x10, and that was like their gift from us to them.
Have you started your email list yet?
No. What was funny is I put it out there on Facebook, and I was like, hey, anybody interested in joining my free paint parties, or message me with your email so I can give you the info. and I didn't get any emails. I did my first live, and then I would get like messages on my page. When is the next party? So it's like, okay. So I'm still doing them. So, but the private ones, we're doing Zoom, and so I have to require their email. So I do have email lists from that. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was about to suggest maybe even doing like a giveaway or something of like, hey, share this and give me your email, and then you might win a free like dog comic or something.
Yeah.
Or pet or portrait, whatever. I think people will go nuts for that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's a good idea. I'll do that. I was looking on the mainland for printing companies, but I'm really, really trying to make everything local. Because as a local artist now, I want to promote local businesses.
Yeah.
So just trying to find a good, reasonable printing company. And you know what? I've talked to a lot of Hawaiian artists or artists that live here in Hawaii. They're not all Hawaiian, but they said that they've had to use mainland printing companies because they're a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, and just in the shipping, I'm sure is so much easier.
Yeah.
The mainland. Okay. So in the Artist Academy, we're kind of getting back to this whole like 1 week we focus on this, and then the next week we focus on this kind of a thing. Do you like that method, or is there anything that I can improve to teach you in a way? Is there anything you want to learn specifically, or are you mostly in it for the community, for the inspiration? What's your favorite?
I really love, I first joined because of the community, because I didn't know a lot of artists, like I'm a part of Drew Brophy's paint classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
And that's like my time, because I'm pouring out and doing lives every day, and so that was like my time of doing something like out of the box for me. So now I'm like paying more attention to the names of the artists that I'm like admiring the artwork with, because I really want to follow them. Like I think the only artist, and this was before internet, the one I really followed was Wyland, because he did all ocean, and that was like my heart and soul was ocean and ocean animals and all that stuff. And so
I have a story about that. So we were just on a cruise in Antarctica, right? And one of the guides, I was telling about how I was an artist, and he was like, "Oh, I've met that one artist, Wyland." I was like, "You've met Wyland?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he was on a cruise ship with him, or an expedition with him 10, 15 years ago or something like that. And he said that they stopped, and he got out and he drew with like this like red paint or red ink or red dye, something like that. And he just like started like drawing in the snow and did like a 20-foot by 15-foot. And he was just going along, and like you can't really see much on the bottom. And then the expedition leader was like, "What is this guy doing? Like, what is this crazy artist?" And then they got up on the ship and looked down, and it was a perfect polar bear that Wyland had done, just on the ground, like just doing that. And he was like, "All right, I knew this guy was legit." Yeah, I was telling this guy, like, "You met Wyland."
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I was listening to Drew, and he said how he wrote down everything that he wanted.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, it'd be great if you like created a plan like that for the artist to have like something, a guide, like, because I mean, we can, as artists, can go like our minds can go all over the place.
Yeah.
But to have something like for a guide for us to go through, to really like focus in like what is it that we're trying to go after in our gift,
For sure. Okay, let's do it. It's done.
That's awesome.
So we'll probably do at the first of every month from now on, inspired by you. We're going to do a, what should we call it? Like a monthly motivation, or just like planning our month, really. And we'll just go and do like 4 weeks at a time, and I'll show you guys mine as well. And just get feedback, and that way we can like collect our thoughts into just one thing and focus. And yeah,
you could call it the art life plan.
The art life plan, yeah, for real. For like January, February, March. Okay, we'll start it in, what is it coming up? May? Yeah, May. 1st of May is in like a week and a half. So
I know, isn't that crazy? It's going by so fast.
So fast. Like, it was like, this is insane. It's a crazy time right now. And so,
It is.
Which makes it hard to plan too, but.
Actually, it's the greatest time to plan because you have the time to focus and you have the time to put into all the things that you didn't have time to do. And so if you're an artist and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do a series, well, this is the time to focus on how to plan out that series because you've got that time. You can set a certain amount every day, to do that. And you have the freedom to, because it could be at any time of the day. It doesn't have to be late at night. So I used to work till midnight doing my art, and I don't have to do that no more.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And people, their schedules are a bit more freed up, and it's so great. You have space in your mind to create new things. Because I remember all last year too, I was just busy, and didn't have time. And now this year is totally different. And it's amazing so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions about anything, or want to talk about anything else before we hop on?
More information how to get those email lists together.
How to get the emails?
How to build your email list. I did put it out there to send me the email. But if that doesn't happen, what other ways?
Yeah, so a lot of the times when people so the thing right now is a lot of people will basically be like, hey, sign up for my email list to receive updates. And people don't want to receive updates. It's you have to almost promise them something or give them something or a chance at something for that they really want. Kind of my favorite way to do it is doing a giveaway. That's just the way and for me to do it. And I usually get several when I give away a print, and I just think do it the cost of doing business. And you can do a print, you could do a you could do an original, you could do a custom or whatever, but people love the idea of getting something for free like that, and they'll give away their email, they'll give away whatever. And so in the 4th quarter success plan, we have that whole doing a giveaway formula if you want to just revise on that. And
yes.
A lot of people, when I see them doing a giveaway, they'll post a text of be hey, I'm doing a giveaway. They don't do a photo with it or whatever. So I always tell people whatever your best photo is, put it up there and then see hey, I'm doing a giveaway, and do it for 2 weeks straight or a week straight or a month, however long. Just every day, beat it over the head with it and be I'm doing a giveaway, give me your email, I'm doing a giveaway, give me your email, and just over and over and over and over until you think you're annoying people, and then just do it one more time, and then and then be okay, the winner is this, and then you'll have several emails.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
because I was I really do need to focus on email lists and getting information out there, especially we really do want to start the whole monthly print thing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of doing a monthly print thing of Bob's Crazy Comics, and especially for kids. So I really want something and or creating a trading card collection or something.
Yeah, or even doing a monthly thing where you can send them a custom comic of their dog or something. Once they're doing something, and you can kind of talk to them, hey, what is he up to this month? And then create your own little kind of a thing. Anything subscription based or recurring, I'm all about that because people get busy,
Yeah.
And so just getting them on that recurring thing helps a ton.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all your information. Like I'm saying, 20 years ago, artists would not even share information like this with each other.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's just, we gain so much more from just talking to each other about things, like talking with you. Now we're going to do the monthly planning thing at the beginning of the month, because getting feedback from you on that, and I always am telling people about my ideas just to get feedback, to be hey, do you think this is a good idea? How can I make it better? Is what I want to know to a lot of people. How can I make my idea better? And
Right.
you don't, because like you only know so much inside of your own head, and we all think we're like super great, and we are, but just like spreading your word out and getting all this information from everybody else, just even if it's like little things like what kind of paint to use, what brushes, what cups to use, like just everything is just, it's so helpful. But
And it helps broaden.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're in the group. I love seeing everybody interact. Everybody, it's you especially. Everybody is just so nice and just helpful. They are. Like,
they are. Every time I post something, I'm thinking, is someone going to say, "Oh, that's crap"?
No,
I don't. Even when you feel like it's like not your best, they're like, "Oh, that's great." I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, or like they'll find the thing about it that's great. And like, oh yeah, that is pretty good. The eyes on that are pretty good, and just, it's just going through this art thing is so hard alone and lonely, like you said. And so just, going through it with people who are just so dang nice. Like, you guys are pretty great.
and then too, we all have like artist eyes. So we all are able to pull out the great things that we see in a picture. Whereas sometimes, like our family members, when we rely on their input, you hear art critic voices like, "Oh, well, you could tweak the eye more this way, or you can, why don't you use more of this color?" Or you're just like, "Can you just tell me what you thought?"
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do. We have the artist eye. We can be like, shade that a little bit more, and it's like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So it's really helpful because you get healthy feedback. And
yes.
Yeah. So it helps us keep going, or else we would be jumping off.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for coming on with me. You did amazing. And
thank you.
We should do it again here in a couple months.
Yes.
Like a
check-in.
Yes. Yes.
Where are they now?
Yeah, exactly. And like, what have you accomplished and stuff like that. I love to just see you guys accomplishing new things. I love it because right now this is all like, I mean, I'm going to say this and record it. We can look back on it to be like, oh, do you remember when, you first moved to Hawaii and, things were a little bit weird and you weren't super busy. And then 6 months from now, you're going to be like, I have so much work. I don't know what to do with it. And be like, remember that one conversation? Oh, yeah.
I hope that one day that I could be like you, referring work to other people, because either you don't do it or you're just too busy.
Yeah, for sure. Like pets and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll send everybody else the butterflies.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to get off here, but it was super nice to officially meet you.
Thank you. So good to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time six-figure art business. With weekly trainings that include step-by-step proven art business techniques, plus painting tutorials from yours truly, and other guest artists who are masters in their field, you will be well equipped to learn and grow into the highly skilled and highly profitable artist you're meant to be. I've figured out what it takes to build my own six-figure art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. It's not hard, but it does require your time and dedication. So, if you're up for the challenge, go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com to learn more. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. If you review our podcast and send a screenshot of that review to me on Instagram, I am at @ArtByAndreaEarhart. I will then promote your art on my story and tag you as a little thank you for helping me grow this podcast and our Artist Academy community. I have a reach of over 50,000 on Instagram, so this is a little help me to help you incentive. Also, if you ever want your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy to check out the schedule every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you next week.